Welcome to our new episode, where we delve into the fascinating world of the Drow, also known as the Dark Elves. This journey through every aspect of Drow life and lore, from their mysterious origins to their intricate society, magical prowess, and the treacherous ecosystem of the Underdark they call home. Imagine yourself descending into the depths of the Underdark, where the light of the surface world is but a distant memory. The air is cool and damp, filled with the faint glow of bioluminescent fungi that cling to the cavern walls. In the distance, you can hear the drip of water and the occasional skitter of unseen creatures. This is the domain of the Drow race of dark-skinned elves with silver or white hair, known for their mastery of magic and their complex, often ruthless society. The Drow are striking in appearance, with skin as black as the deepest night and hair that shimmers like moonlight on water. Their eyes, often red or violet, glow with an inner fire that speaks of their connection to the arcane. They adorn themselves in fine silks and intricate jewelry, often enchanted with protective spells or imbued with magical properties. Feared and reviled by many on the surface, the Drow are known for their cruelty and treachery, yet they are also admired for their beauty and magical prowess. Their society is matriarchal, ruled by powerful priestesses who serve Lolth, the Spider Queen, a goddess of chaos and deceit. In this episode, we'll uncover how the Drow came to be, from their origins as surface elves to their exile in the Underdark. We'll explore their cities, such as the infamous Menzoberranzan, and learn about their daily lives, filled with intrigue and danger. We'll also delve into their magical abilities, from their innate dark vision to their mastery of spells that manipulate minds and bend reality. Throughout this journey, we'll examine their intricate clan structures, meet some of their most notable figures, and uncover the myths and legends that surround this enigmatic race. We'll leave no stone unturned. So, get ready to immerse yourself in the world of the Drow, where every shadow hides a secret, and every whisper could be your last. Let's begin our exploration of this captivating and dangerous race. History of the Drow. To understand the Drow, we must first look back to their origins. Long ago, the Drow were not the dark-skinned elves of the Underdark, but rather surface-dwelling elves, much like their high elf and wood elf cousins. They lived in harmony with nature, worshipping Corellon Larethian, the god of the elves. However, this peace was shattered by a great schism. A group of elves, led by the goddess Lolth, who was once Corain's consort, began to worship her instead. Lolth, jealous and ambitious, sought to overthrow Corellon and claim dominion over the elves. This led to a catastrophic civil war known as the Crown Wars. During this conflict, Lolth was cast out from the Seldarine, the pantheon of elven gods, and her followers were banished from the surface world, forced to seek refuge in the depths of the Underdark. In this lightless realm, the exiled elves, now known as the Drow, adapted to their new environment. Their skin darkened to blend with the shadows, and their eyes gained the ability to see in the dark vision, a trait that would become one of their most defining characteristics. Over time, they developed a society that was as harsh and unforgiving as their surroundings. Lolth, now the undisputed goddess of the Drow, demanded absolute obedience and fostered a culture of intrigue and betrayal. The Drow society became matriarchal, with powerful priestesses of Lolth ruling over the clans or houses that make up their cities. This structure ensured that power was always in flux, with houses constantly vying for dominance through schemes and battles. However, Not all Drow accepted Lolth's rule. Some, like the followers of Eilistrii, the goddess of beauty and dance, sought to redeem themselves and return to the surface. Others, such as those who worship Veron, the god of thievery, pursued their own paths, often in opposition to Lolth's matriarchy. These deviants represent a minority, but they offer a glimpse into the complexity of Drow society and the potential for change. This history of exile and adaptation has left a deep imprint on the Drow psyche, making them a race both feared and misunderstood. Yet, within their ranks, there are those who seek to break free from Lolth's grasp, yearning for a different path, as we'll explore later in this episode. For now, let us delve deeper into the society that the Drow have built in the Underdark, a place where every shadow hides a secret, and every whisper could be your last. Society and culture. Imagine yourself standing in the heart of Menzoberranzan, the most famous Drow city, where the air is cool and still, lit by the soft, eerie glow of Faerzres, the wild magic of the Underdark. The city is a marvel of architecture, with buildings carved from stalactites and stalagmites, connected by delicate bridges that seem to defy gravity. The faint hum of magic fills the air, a constant reminder of the Drow's mastery over the arcane. Drow society is strictly matriarchal, with power concentrated in the hands of the matron Mothershai priestesses of Lolth, the Spider Queen. These women rule over the noble houses, each a clan of Drow families that form the backbone of their cities. The houses are in constant competition, engaging in schemes, betrayals, and even open conflict to rise in status or topple their rivals. This culture of intrigue is encouraged by Lolth herself, who delights in the chaos and competition among her followers. Below the nobility are the commoners, who make up the majority of Drow society. They live in more modest quarters, working as artisans, merchants, soldiers, or laborers. While they lack the power of the nobility, they are not without ambition, and many seek to climb the social ladder through skill, cunning, or favor with Lolth. The divide between noble and commoner is stark, yet both are bound by the same ruthless code of survival. Slavery is a fundamental part of Drow life. Captives from other races, as well as Drow from defeated houses, are often enslaved. These slaves perform menial tasks, serve as soldiers in wars, or are used in magical experiments. The Drow view slaves as property, with no rights or freedoms, their lives often short and brutal. Yet, even in this harsh system, there are whispers of rebellion and escape, though such acts are met with swift and merciless punishment. Magic is ubiquitous in Drow society. Every Drow has some innate magical talent, and many pursue formal training in wizardry or clerical magic. The most powerful spellcasters are highly respected and feared, often holding positions of influence within their houses or serving as advisors to the matron mothers. The Drow have a particular affinity for illusion and enchantment magic, which they use to deceive and control others. Imagine witnessing a Drow wizard weaving a spell, their hands tracing intricate patterns in the air as shadows dance and shift around them. Religion plays a central role in Drow culture. Lolth is the primary deity, worshipped with a fervor that borders on fanaticism. Her temples are grand structures where dark rituals are performed, often involving sacrifice and blood magic. However, there are other deities worshipped in secret, such as Viron, god of thievery and males, and Eilistrii, goddess of beauty and redemption. These alternative faiths offer hope to those who dare to defy Lolth's rule, though their followers are often hunted and persecuted. The Drow language, a dialect of Elvish, is rich with words for deceit and betrayal, reflecting their culture's emphasis on cunning and manipulation. Their art and music are often dark and melancholic, with themes of loss, power, and survival. Drow craftsmanship is exquisite, particularly in the creation of magical items, poisons, and weapons, which are both beautiful and deadly. In this society, trust is a rare commodity, and every interaction is a potential battleground for power. Yet, within this harsh framework, there are moments of beauty and grace, reminders that even in the darkest places, there is light to be found. Notable Drow figures. The Drow have produced many figures whose stories are woven into the tapestry of Dungeons & Dragons lore. Here, we'll highlight a few key individuals, each with unique roles and legacies. Drizzt Do'Urden. Perhaps the most famous Drow, Drizzt is a ranger who rejected Lolth's teachings, seeking a life of honor on the surface. His adventures, chronicled in R.A. Salvatore's novels, showcase his struggle against prejudice and his quest for redemption. Matron Mother Banray, leader of House Banray, the most powerful house in Menzoberranzan. She epitomizes Drow ruthlessness, using magic and politics to maintain dominance. Jarlaxle Bonray, a charismatic mercenary and leader of Brigand Dertha, Jarlaxle navigates Drow politics with cunning, often acting as a neutral broker in conflicts. Zaknafine Do'Urden, Drizzt's father, a skilled weapons master, who opposed Lolth's ways and was sacrificed, highlighting the internal conflicts within Drow society. Curel Odran, a high priestess of Lolth, known for her role in Drow politics and her ruthless enforcement of Lolth's will, representing the darker side of their culture. These figures illustrate the diversity within Drow society, from those who defy tradition to those who embody its darkest aspects. These notable Drow have influenced not only their own society but also the broader world of Faerun. Drizzt's story, for instance, challenges the stereotype of Drow as purely evil, offering a narrative of redemption that resonates with players and readers alike. Matron Mother Bonray and Curel Odran, on the other hand, reinforce the Drow's reputation for intrigue and power, shaping how other races perceive them. Magic and abilities of the Drow. The Drow's magic is not just a tool but an extension of their very being, shaped by centuries of exile and survival in a hostile environment. Innate magical abilities. The Drow possess several innate abilities that reflect their adaptation to the Underdark's perpetual darkness and their divine heritage from Lolth. One of the most prominent is their superior dark vision, allowing them to see in complete darkness up to 120 feet, as if it were dim light, and in dim light as if it were bright. This trait, honed over generations in the lightless depths, gives them a natural advantage in stealth and ambush tactics. Imagine navigating a labyrinth of tunnels, where the surface dwellers would stumble blindly, but for the Drow, every shadow reveals its secrets with crystal clarity. Another key ability is their resistance to charm effects and magic that puts them to sleep, a resilience born from their elven ancestry but amplified by Lolth's blessings. This makes them formidable in encounters involving enchantment magic, where they can shrug off spells that would ensnare lesser beings. Additionally, Drow have an innate proficiency with certain weapons and tools, such as rapiers, short swords, and hand crossbows, often laced with potent poisons derived from Underdark flora and fauna. These poisons can paralyze or incapacitate foes, turning a simple strike into a deadly blow. As Drow mature, they gain access to specific spells that they can cast without material components. Starting at a young age, they can cast dancing lights to create illusory orbs of light, useful for distraction or signaling in the dark. By adulthood, they unlock Fairy Fire, a spell that outlines targets in a glowing aura, making them easier to hit and revealing invisible creatures. Finally, they master Darkness, enveloping an area in impenetrable shadow that even dark vision cannot pierce, perfect for escape or ambush. These abilities are not learned but inherent, a gift from their divine patroness, Lolth, who weaves her web of chaos through every Drow soul. In the context of their society, these innate powers reinforce the Drow's hierarchical structure. Noble Drow, closer to Lolth's favor, often exhibit stronger manifestations of these abilities, using them to assert dominance over commoners or slaves. For instance, a matron mother might cast Fairy Fire during a ritual to highlight a traitor, ensuring their swift execution under the eyes of the house. Clerical magic and Lolth's influence. Clerical magic forms the backbone of Drow religious and social life, channeled primarily through the priestesses of Lolth. These women, who hold the highest positions in Drow society, draw their power from the Spider Queen herself. Lolth's domain includes chaos, darkness, deception, and spiders, so her clerics excel in spells that manipulate minds, summon arachnid allies, or unleash poisonous attacks. Spells like Spider Climb allow them to traverse cavern walls effortlessly, while Web can ensnare enemies in sticky strands, mimicking Lolth's eternal web. The rituals of Lolth are elaborate affairs, often conducted in grand temples carved from obsidian and adorned with spider motifs. During these ceremonies, priestesses might summon swarms of spiders or cast Summon Monster to bring forth demonic entities from the abyss, Lolth's home plane. The air in these temples is heavy with incense made from rare Underdark herbs, creating a haze that blurs the line between reality and illusion. Clerics also use divination spells to foresee plots against their houses, ensuring survival in the cutthroat world of Drow politics. However, not all Drow clerics serve Lolth exclusively. Those who follow Eilistrii, Lolth's daughter and a goddess of redemption, focus on spells of light, healing, and dance, offering a counterpoint to the dominant darkness. Eilistrii's followers often perform rituals under the moon's light on the surface, casting spells like Moonbeam to purify areas tainted by evil. Similarly, clerics of Viron, god of thievery and male Drow, specialize in stealth and illusion magic, using invisibility or pass without trace to navigate the shadows unseen. These alternative faiths, though persecuted, add layers to Drow magical diversity, showing that even in darkness, there are paths to different lights. The training for clerical magic begins early for Drow females of noble birth, who are sent to academies like Arach Tinelith in Menzoberranzan. Here, they endure rigorous trials, learning to channel divine energy while surviving the intrigues of their peers. The process is grueling, with spells like Inflict Wounds used in duels to test resolve. Successful graduates emerge as powerful priestesses, their magic a symbol of Lolth's favor and a tool for maintaining house supremacy. Wizardry and arcane traditions. Beyond divine magic, the Drow are accomplished wizards. with a particular affinity for illusion and enchantment schools. Their arcane traditions are passed down through academies like sorcery, where male drow often train, as clerical paths are reserved for females. Drow wizards excel in spells that deceive and control, such as major image, to create lifelike illusions, or dominate person, to bend others to their will. These abilities are crucial in drow politics, where a well-placed illusion can turn the tide of a house war. The drow's connection to the weave, the source of all magic, is influenced by the Fairsress, a natural radiation in the Underdark that amplifies spells but can also cause wild magic surges. Wizards harness this energy to empower their casting, creating effects that are more potent in the depths than on the surface. For example, a drow wizard might cast Levitate to traverse chasms or Fireball with enhanced destructive force, the flames flickering with an unnatural purple hue due to Fairsress. Drow arcane items are legendary, from adamantine armor enchanted for lightness to hand crossbows that firebolts tipped with sleep poison. Their poisons, brewed from Underdark creatures like giant spiders or fungi, induce paralysis or hallucinations, making even a graze deadly. The creation of these items involves intricate rituals, often in forges heated by magical flames, where the clang of hammers echoes through the caverns. In warfare, drow magic shines brightest. Armies are supported by wizard battalions casting Cloud Kill to unleash poisonous vapors or Wall of Force to create impenetrable barriers. Their affinity for darkness spells allows them to blind enemies while navigating freely, turning battles into one-sided ambushes. The sound of incantations, a low chant in the drow language, fills the air during these conflicts, a symphony of power that resonates through the stone. Unique magical adaptations. The drow's long exile has led to unique adaptations in their magic. Their sensitivity to sunlight, a curse from Corellon, causes discomfort in bright light, but they counter this with spells like daylight, reversed, or potions that mitigate the effects. In the Underdark, they use passwall to carve new tunnels or stone shape to fortify their cities against collapses. These adaptations ensure their survival in an environment filled with dangers, from cave-ins to rival creatures like mind flayers. The role of magic in drow education is profound. Young drow are taught basic spells from infancy, with noble children receiving private tutors who drill them in the arts of deception and control. Commoners might learn rudimentary magic for survival, such as mending to repair tools or prestidigitation for minor tricks. This widespread magical literacy makes drow society resilient, where even the lowest slave might possess a spark of arcane talent. Drow magic is not without its risks. The influence of Lolth can corrupt spells, leading to chaotic outcomes, and the Fairsress can cause surges that backfire spectacularly. Wizards must balance power with caution, a lesson learned through trial and error in the unforgiving Underdark. The Drow's magical legacy is one of innovation born from necessity. Their spells and abilities have allowed them to thrive in a world that would crush lesser races, turning the darkness into their greatest ally. As we move forward, we'll explore how this magic interacts with the ecosystem of the Underdark, a place where every cavern holds a new wonder or peril. To further illustrate the Drow's innate abilities, consider how dark vision allows them to hunt in complete blackness, spotting prey by heat signatures that glow faintly in their vision. This ability, combined with their stealth, makes them masters of ambush, their footsteps silent on the uneven stone floors. The resistance to charm is a divine gift from Lolth, protecting them from the Mind Flayer's psionic attacks, the spell's failure leaving a tingling sensation like spiders crawling on the skin. In clerical magic, Lolth's priestesses perform rituals that summon swarms of spiders, the creatures scurrying across the floor in a wave of black bodies, their bites delivering venom that paralyzes victims. These rituals often occur in temples adorned with web motifs, the silk strands vibrating with divine energy. The priestesses' spells like Hold Person freeze enemies in place, the victim's muscles locking, as if bound by invisible threads. For Illustrae's followers, magic is a tool for redemption. They cast Moonbeam to create pillars of silvery light that burn evil creatures, the beam dancing like moonlight on water. Their rituals involve dance, with freedom of movement, allowing graceful motions even in confined spaces, the spell freeing them from restraints like a gentle breeze. Veyron's clerics use invisibility to vanish into shadows, the spell wrapping them in darkness like a cloak. They cast silence to muffle sounds during thefts, the area falling into an unnatural quiet where even heartbeats seem hushed. Drow wizardry includes evocation for destructive power. Scorching Ray sends beams of fire that sizzle through the air, leaving trails of smoke. Acid Arrow launches projectiles that corrode armor, the acid bubbling on impact with a hissing sound. In Abjuration, protection from energy shields against fire or acid, the spell creating a barrier that absorbs damage with a faint shimmer. Dispel Magic unravels enemy spells, the magic unraveling like a pulled thread. Drow use transmutation to alter forms, with Polymorph turning enemies into harmless animals, the transformation accompanied by a pop of displaced air. Fly allows them to soar through caverns, the spell lifting them on invisible wings. Their enchantment magic is subtle, with Sleep causing foes to slump in slumber, their breathing slowing to a rhythmic rise and fall. Suggestion implants ideas, the victim's eyes glazing as the command takes hold. The Drow's poisons are magical enhancements, with Contagion inflicting diseases that weaken over time, the victim's skin paling as fever sets in. Their alchemists brew oil of slipperiness for escape, the oil-making surfaces slick as ice. In crafting, Drow enchant rings of mind shielding to protect against telepathy, the ring humming faintly when activated. They create potions of invisibility, the liquid swirling with shadows as it's quaffed. The Drow's magic in warfare includes area control, with Stinking Cloud releasing noxious gases that choke enemies, the cloud rolling like fog. Sleet Storm creates slippery ice, the hail pattering on stone. Education in magic begins with light, spells for illumination, the orb floating like a willow, the wisp. Nobles learn Identify to appraise artifacts, the spell revealing secrets in a flash of insight. The risks include Lolth's tests, where failed spells lead to transformation into driders, the creature's spider body scuttling with a chitinous click. Fair's Rest surges might cause confusion, making allies turn on each other in a haze of madness. The Drow's magical legacy is one of survival, their abilities a blend of divine gift and hard-won skill. Their spells have carved a kingdom in the dark, where magic is both salvation and curse. As we continue, we'll see how this magic interacts with the Underdark's ecosystem, a world shaped by the Drow's arcane will. Ecosystem of the Underdark. This ecosystem is a marvel of natural and magical wonders, a place where life thrives in eternal darkness. shaped by geological forces, arcane energies, and the Drow's own influence. Imagine yourself traversing a winding tunnel, the walls glistening with moisture, and the faint echo of dripping water creating a rhythmic backdrop. The air is cool and heavy, carrying the earthy scent of moss and minerals, while distant sounds hint at the hidden life teeming in the shadows. The Underdark is not a single, uniform cavern but a layered world, divided into the Upper Dark, Middle Dark, and Lower Dark, each with its own unique environment and inhabitants. The Drow primarily inhabit the Middle Dark, where the balance of danger and resources suits their society. This layer is characterized by vast caves, underground lakes, and networks of tunnels that stretch for miles, illuminated by bioluminescent fungi and glowing crystals known as Faerzress. Faerzress is a key element of the ecosystem, a natural radiation that infuses the rock and air with magical properties. It amplifies spells but can also cause wild surges, making magic unpredictable and adding an element of risk to every incantation. In the Upper Dark, closer to the surface, the ecosystem is more accessible, but fraught with perils from invading surface dwellers or rival races like Duergar and Svirfneblin. Here, the Drow maintain outposts and mining operations, extracting precious gems and metals that fuel their craftsmanship. The flora includes edible fungi like barrel-stalk mushrooms, which store water in their spongy caps, and zirkwood, a massive mushroom used for construction. Fauna ranges from giant spiders, tamed by Drow as mounts or guardians, to rothe, herd animals that provide meat and milk. The Drow have domesticated these creatures, using selective breeding and magic to enhance their utility. Imagine a herd of Rothi grazing on lichen, their low moans echoing through the caverns, providing a steady food source for Drow cities. Descending to the Middle Dark, the heart of Drow territory, the ecosystem becomes more hostile yet abundant. Cities like Minzo-Baranzan are built in massive caverns, with structures carved from stalactites and stalagmites, connected by delicate bridges and magical lifts. The air is filled with the scent of sulfur from geothermal vents, which provide heat and power for forges. Underground rivers and lakes teem with blind fish and crustaceans, harvested by Drow fisherfolk using enchanted nets that glow faintly to attract prey. The waters are often infused with minerals that give them a metallic taste, but the Drow have developed alchemical filters to purify them. Flora in the Middle Dark is diverse and often hazardous. Blue-cap mushrooms serve as a staple grain, ground into flour for bread, while deep rot provides a hallucinogenic spice used in rituals. Some plants, like the nightshade vine, are poisonous, their tendrils wrapping around unwary travelers. The Drow cultivate these in controlled gardens, using spells like plant growth to accelerate harvests, ensuring a steady supply for their population. Fauna includes pack lizards, massive reptiles used as beasts of burden, their scales shimmering with a natural iridescence. Drow hunters ride these lizards through tunnels, pursuing quaggoths or hook horrors for meat and hides. The Lower Dark, the deepest layer, is a realm of extremes, rarely ventured by Drow except for expeditions. Here, the pressure is immense, and the air is thick with toxic gases from volcanic activity. Creatures like aboleths and beholders lurk in the depths, their psionic powers creating pockets of warped reality. The ecosystem is dominated by extremophilous fungi that thrive on heat and minerals, and blind, pale fish in scorching lakes. The Drow mine rare elements like adamantite from these depths, using protective spells to survive the heat and pressure. Imagine a Drow explorer, clad in enchanted armor that cools the body, harvesting crystals that pulse with raw energy, the ground trembling from distant earthquakes. The Underdark's ecosystem is interconnected, with food chains that rely on chemosynthesis rather than sunlight. Bacteria break down minerals, feeding fungi and small creatures, which in turn support larger predators. The Drow have integrated into this chain, using magic to farm fungi fields illuminated by continual flame spells, their soft red light mimicking the glow of lava. They also employ undead laborers to tend these fields, the skeletons moving silently among the crops, freeing living Drow for more intricate tasks. Water cycles in the Underdark are crucial, with underground rivers fed by surface seepage, often contaminated with minerals or toxins. The Drow purify these with purify water spells, creating vast reservoirs in their cities. Floods are a common hazard, triggered by seismic activity, and Drow engineers use stone shape to divert flows, carving channels that snake through the rock-like veins. The Rivalries, a magical radiation, permeates the ecosystem, causing mutations in flora and fauna. Some fungi glow with unnatural colors, providing light for navigation, while others develop hallucinogenic properties, used in Drow poisons or rituals. Animals exposed to Rivalries might grow extra limbs or gain minor magical abilities, like a spider that weaves webs of illusion. The Drow study these effects in laboratories, experimenting to harness Rivalries for their spells, though surges can lead to catastrophic failures, such as a spell backfiring and summoning unintended creatures. Interactions with other races shape the ecosystem. Drow trade with Duergar for metals, exchanging magical items for forged goods, their caravans guarded by invisible scouts. Conflicts with mind flayers lead to raids, where Drow use dominate monster to turn illithid thralls against their masters. These interactions create a dynamic balance, where alliances shift like the tides in underground lakes. The Drow's influence on the ecosystem is profound. They cultivate spider farms, breeding giant spiders for silk and venom, the creatures' webs forming natural barriers around cities. They also introduce invasive species, like demons summoned for war, which sometimes escape and disrupt local food chains. Conservation is not a priority, but the Drow maintain sustainable harvests to ensure long-term survival, using divination spells to predict fungal blooms or animal migrations. Seasonal changes in the Underdark are subtle, influenced by geothermal cycles. During warm seasons, vents release more heat, promoting growth, while cold seasons see migrations to deeper layers. The Drow adapt with spells like control weather, though limited in scope underground, to stabilize temperatures in their cities. The Underdark's beauty lies in its alien wonders crystal gardens, where quartz formations sing when touched, or lakes of glowing water inhabited by bioluminescent fish. The Drow incorporate these into their art, crafting jewelry from crystals that hum with stored magic. Yet, dangers abound. Cave, inns triggered by earthquakes, toxic gas pockets that require gusts of wind to disperse, or predatory beasts like purple worms that burrow through rock. The Drow's survival depends on their harmony with this ecosystem, using magic to tip the scales in their favor. They domesticate Rothe for milk and meat, enchanting herds to follow commands, or harvest deep rot for hallucinogens used in rituals. Their hunters use animal friendship to tame beasts, turning potential threats into allies. In Menzoberranzan, The ecosystem is engineered with Narbondel, a pillar enchanted to glow like a clock, marking time in the timeless dark. This magical construct, heated by wizards each day, provides a rhythm to life, its warmth radiating through the cavern. The upper dark serves as a buffer zone, with Drow outposts monitoring surface incursions. Here, the ecosystem transitions to surface-like, with more light from fungi, attracting creatures like giant bats that Drow use as scouts. The middle dark, Drow heartland, is balanced, with controlled hunting to prevent overpopulation of predators. The lower dark, a frontier, holds untapped resources, but expeditions are rare due to horrors like elder brains. The Drow's ecosystem management includes magical wards to protect against natural disasters, like earthquake spells used defensively. They also use Speak with Plants to communicate with fungi, learning of impending threats. This intricate ecosystem, a blend of natural wonders and Drow ingenuity, sustains their society, a testament to their resilience in the eternal dark. As we move forward, we'll see how this environment interacts with their clans in daily lives, a world where every element is interconnected in a delicate balance. The enduring legacy of the Drow. As our journey through the shadowy world of the Drow draws to a close, let us take a moment to reflect on the intricate tapestry we've woven together. From their ancient origins as surface elves, exiled during the Crown Wars for following Lolth's chaotic path, to their adaptation in the eternal darkness of the Underdark, the Drow have forged a society that is both mesmerizing and formidable. Their history is one of betrayal, survival, and unyielding ambition, shaped by divine curses and the harsh realities of their subterranean home. We've explored the matriarchal structure of Drow society, where priestesses of Lolth command absolute power, and noble houses engage in endless intrigue to ascend the social ladder. Commoners and slaves form the foundation of this hierarchy, their lives intertwined with the whims of the elite, while alternative faiths like those of Ilastrae and Veron offer glimpses of redemption and defiance. The Drow's culture, rich in dark art, melancholic music, and a language laced with deception, reflects their complex psyche, a blend of beauty and brutality. Their magic and abilities stand as a testament to their resilience, with innate gifts like superior dark vision and spells such as fairy fire and darkness, allowing them to thrive in the lightless depths. Clerical devotion to Lolth grants powers of manipulation and summoning, while arcane wizardry excels in illusion and enchantment, turning every encounter into a potential trap. We've seen how these abilities extend to warfare, crafting, and daily rituals, influenced by the Underdark's Faerzress, which amplifies their spells but introduces unpredictable risks. The ecosystem of the Underdark itself is a living entity, layered from the Upper Dark's hybrid zones to the Lower Dark's volcanic extremes. Bioluminescent fungi illuminate vast caverns, underground rivers sustain life, and creatures like giant spiders and rothi are domesticated for utility. The Drow have integrated into this web, using magic to farm, hunt, and protect against hazards like cave-ins or toxic gases, while their actions, such as summoning demons or polluting with arcane residues, disrupt the delicate balance. Notable figures like Driz de Erden challenge the stereotype of Drow as irredeemable villains, his path of honor inspiring stories of change. Matron Mother Bonry embodies the ruthless core of their society, while Jarlaxle Bonry showcases cunning adaptability. These individuals highlight the diversity within Drow ranks, from fanatical Lolth worshippers to those seeking surface light. The Drow's enduring appeal lies in their complexity, a race born of tragedy, thriving in adversity, where every shadow holds potential for both peril and poetry. Their clans, like House Banre or House Duerden, represent eternal struggles for power, mirroring the Underdark's unforgiving nature. As we conclude this episode, consider the Drow not just as villains, but as a mirror to the darker aspects of ambition and survival. Their world, though shrouded in eternal night, pulses with life and magic, inviting endless exploration in your own D&D campaigns. Thank you for joining this deep dive into the Drow. May the whispers of the Underdark linger in your thoughts, enriching your understanding of the Forgotten Realm.